Hi there, it's Ricky from Moshville Times here once again. This time I'm joined by absolute maniacs. They're from Manchester. They play death and grind metal, and of course I'm talking about Foetal Juice. So tonight we've got vocalist Derek, we've got bassist Lewis, we've got the guitarist Ryan, and by no means least we have the drummer Rob. So I'm just wondering, have you guys sobered up since Bodstock then? Because you were a wee bit under the influence.
I mean, I don't think we've sobered up for the last 15 years, to be honest. Like, since the band began, like, the whole concept of it is get pissed and enjoy yourself.
That's it. That's exactly it. And if anybody wants to know what we're talking about, go on to Moshville Times YouTube channel, and you'll have a hell of a lot of fun watching that interview. It was a really cool interview. So I have to ask though, before we start the interview, how was Bloodstock? How was it on the stage? How was it playing in front of a crowd again?
It was incredible. It was such a good festival. Like everyone there, like the staff, the crew, everyone treated you really well. The gig itself was the biggest gig we've ever played, and I think we did quite well with it, and it had a really good crowd, considering it was like 10:30 in the morning. It was still absolutely rammed, and like we've got there's like a video of it that Bloodstock have just released of Manifestation. And it's it sounds better than I thought it sounded.
Still got that grindy quality to it.
Shit, what's on the end?
Another thing that we've done over at Moshville Times, we released the video for your The Wall of Death. So that got like over 500,000 views as I'm counting, you know, so it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I think everyone just loads of skellies.
500,000 chavs giving us shit.
Oh, that's fucking weak, dude.
Or I bet they drink Monster or something.
Yeah.
Maybe more that fucking memes, but
it was cool to watch, but I know that Shell's thoroughly enjoyed your set as well, so I'm certainly looking forward to seeing it in Badgerfest, which we'll talk about later on. But before we do that, it was June of last year when you released your second album, Gluttony, so you couldn't have picked a worse time to release an album. But looking back on it now, I was wondering, like, how do you feel about the album? Is there anything that you would have liked to have changed? Are you happy with the sound, the artwork, or is there particular aspects of songs like, wish I could change that? Or
to be fair,
the drummer was shit.
I think I'm still really proud of that album. Like like all the songs kind of came together really well. Like the only thing I'd change about it is the fact that Lewis only had 2 weeks to learn it.
Yeah.
It would have been better. Like there's loads of bits where he plays live differently than what the album is, because he's learned and adapted his playing to how he wants it to be. Whereas like on the album, it was more copying the guitar because he only just joined the band.
Yeah. I mean, it's a case of for what it is.
Go on, man.
It's a case of for what it is, I'm happy with it. But yeah, if I could do it again, I'd learn it better. And it's that you don't, bass lines don't happen in the second, do they? They meld over time. Same with drum fills and things like that. They meld over the time, just playing it with your bandmates. And I didn't have that luxury, so it was all just in the moment. So a lot of it was just plainly following what Ryan does and not messing around too much. But then again,
I mean, it still sounds
it's just looking forward to the next album, isn't it?
The production of it's great. Like everything to do with it's like really good. Like to do with it coming out in the worst time. Like it's been the worst time for like 2 years. So like, there's no way we could have just sat on it until now brought it out, because then
plus you don't really like sitting on it. It's like we already wanted to get it out, and we'd already waited a little bit because it was just like, you've got to wait with the process of releasing an album anyway.
Yeah.
We just thought if we wait till this is over, we might never be over. So we just thought, get it out. And then in a year or two,
we've managed to kind of jump on the like promotion bandwagon of it as well by having like this tour that's coming up, and we've got the Bloodstock date that we did. We've been playing, like since Bloodstock, we've been playing pretty much every weekend in random places all over. Like played Plymouth 2 weeks ago, London the week before that. yeah, it's if we didn't have that album out then and the kind of following that it came with it, they wouldn't have been as good at gigs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an introduction to the new Foetal Juice, basically.
Yeah. So had you always planned to put it out in June of last year, or was it delayed? Was it going to be out at the beginning of 2020 or something like that? Or
no, it was like, because we basically recorded it in like November the year before, and then started shipping it out to labels and all that stuff. And as soon as you kind of get onto a label, which like Gorehouse like happily grabbed onto us, then you're in a queue essentially. So like that time is like, right, we've got 3 other releases to come out. This release will be June, and then March happened.
Yeah, pretty much like half a year of releases are already set in stone, like with times and dates and stuff. It's straight in the queue, basically.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's a bit of a niggle about it as well is like if we had vinyls straight away with it, or had vinyls now, we wouldn't be missing out on them for this tour. Like, because we've ordered vinyls and they're ready to come in, and they should have been arriving in September, but there's this vinyl shortage everywhere that everyone releasing vinyls is a bit screwed at the minute. So ours has been delayed, and now
there's like Necronautical are waiting on one as well.
Necro as well on Candlelight, and loads of other labels are struggling to get anything released on time because of the vinyl shortage essentially. But it would have been good to have the vinyls for this tour that we've got coming up, but unfortunately we haven't.
It's a weird shortage. Like this, first it was bog roll, then it was petrol, now it's black metal and death metal vinyl.
Yeah, it'll be bog roll again soon, so fucking mop up all the vomit.
Maybe it's because the factories are scared of producing Foetal Juice vinyl. Is the record cover? Oh my god!
I mean, it's one of them where it's just. I don't think there's that many factories though. Everyone uses the same like I'm sure I read something a bit ago where everyone uses the same 10 pressing plants pretty much. And it's just it's the backlog is ridiculous because it's got so much more popular vinyl. Because people just go like I'm the same. I just collect vinyl and listen to it to Spotify or YouTube or MP3s or Bandcamp or something that's on you all the time. So CDs kind of have just been chucked in my attic essentially.
Well, keep that thought, because that's for my question later on. That's my golden question that I keep to the end, and you're answering it just now. So we'll need to get that in the budget. But with Gluttony, I should have got Shells to do this interview. With Gluttony being over a year now, then I take it you've been busy, and now that you can meet up and things like that, I take it you've been busy writing new material then.
Not really.
It's kind of happening now. Like it's.
We went through a bit where we wrote, like, we've got a shitload of riffs and so many song ideas, but we kind of had to, like, it was like during the beginning of the lockdowns and stuff, where I just kind of came out with so much material that we couldn't practice or write together or do in any way. We kind of. It
was straight after the release. So we couldn't use it for ages. It was just like, the release is out, I'm bored, so I'll write more, but we just had to sit on them for ages, so I kind of stopped for a bit.
Yeah, we've all really, like, since then as well, me and Derek have released things with our side bands as well. So like Necronautical albums come out, and the new Wolf Bastard is going to come out soon. Burial after that, yeah. So there's like been 3 albums between us of other bands that have come out. Me and Rye have done a black metal project that should be coming out soon as well. And it was just all things to kind of take our mind off Foetal Juice because you want a bit of a gap between an album, otherwise it's going to sound exactly the fucking same. You want it to be like, oh right, I've progressed as a musician, or I've progressed as a writer, or I've done something, rather than like, oh, here's 10 albums exactly the same as each other.
It's the same album again, basically. No progression, it's just the same kind of stuff. Like,
I mean, we are planning on kind of as soon as this tour's finished in October, we're just like concentrating on let's write a full album, and then we'll be ready for next year with that pretty much. So I mean, our writing process is really quick anyway. Like we will churn one out in 2 months.
Yeah. So Lewis, do you see a slight change in the sound with the new material from Gluttony, for example, or do you think it's more of the same formula? You concentrate more on the songwriting, making it tighter. What do you think?
I think like the way we kind of write stuff is generally me and Rye that write everything. And we kind of, the way he writes it, he gets like a really kind of, he has the riffs and like A B, like really simple kind of formulas, and I'm the one that kind of chucks spanners in it and goes, oh, why don't we do that in 2? Or we'll just change it, and things that kind of fuck it up and make it arrange it. It's more of a death prog.
Basically, I just write it all.
I just try to piss off every other member of the band by making it overcomplicated.
No, that needs to change.
So Rob, is Ryan the type of guy that would send like a riff at 4 o'clock in the morning saying this is the best riff I've ever written, by the way?
Yeah, he's the kind of guy
to me, never mind Rob.
He'll send.
No, he's asleep, so send it Lewis.
Made himself.
Lewis instead.
The only reason that me and Ryan are doing this other black metal band is because he literally sent here's 4 albums of Foetal Juice material. And I was just like, mate, do something else, do anything else to get your mind off that for a bit. And then he just went, all right, like, because I was just like, I've not got the time to do it at the minute. I'm working, I'm doing all this throughout the lockdown. We can't meet up, do anything else. Just do a black metal project. And then like a week later, he was like, I finished this black metal project. You have to drum. I'll put you in the studio. And it's like, you fucking bastard.
I think the thing with that is, though, it's because I recently, for like 16 years or something, it was literally I'd play my guitar when we had a band practice.
Yeah.
So I never did all the writing shit at home. It was always sort of improvised jamming that led to the songs, and then if we liked something, recording it on a phone.
Yeah.
And that's actually how Lewis learnt that last album, was on a shitty phone recording of the album, which was like distorted, like pretty. How he managed it.
I think I lost a few hairs.
It was fucking impressive, like. But now I've got one of these. One of these things.
The testicle you're looking for there, right?
In quarantine, I got one of them things, and ever since I've just been addicted to recording riffs and writing music and making weird samples.
Quite right, but you've highlighted something there, Ryan. But so Rob, it's easy enough for like Lewis or Ryan to pick up their instruments and do riffs and things like that. But with you being the drummer, then did you get your kitchen pots and pans out and stuff like that, or do you have an electrical drum kit or anything?
I literally like.
It went one worse.
We had to do like for the promotional shit of the last album. They wanted, like, the label wanted playthrough videos.
Yeah,
and we weren't out of our house at that time because of like that was like March or April.
Yeah,
and I was just like, look, I'll give you one, and just made a drum kit out of fucking cardboard boxes just to say, look, this is going to be dog shit. I can't do it. Here's proof that I've tried. And sent them the video, and then they fucking released it, and I was like, oh shit. Like
they premiered it. It was like, what the fuck? And I did the editing as well. I'd only had that fucking thing about a week.
Yeah.
I was still working out how to use it. I was like, oh my God. And then I got all the syncing wrong. So the drums were even in sync with what he was playing. It was just like
we have to put the effort in. But then, like, yeah, I've not really had a chance to do to practice much drumming, to be honest.
Yeah.
Throughout it, and then when things kind of got rolling again, like because I had a Necronautical album to record, which was like this November. I think it might have been like November that's just gone. Well, which is a fucking year ago now. Jesus. But yeah, I had a Necronautical album to record, and we wrote the songs before the lockdown, and then I ended up going there. Like, the studio was booked in November. I'd hardly ever played any of the songs, went to the studio and had to just be like, fuck me, I'm fat and unhealthy now. Like, I can't drum anymore. Well, no, I've always been fat and unhealthy, but particularly like the only exercise I do is drumming. And when you miss out on it for a year, you become a vast slug. essentially. Which incidentally is my black metal name for Necronautical.
But also with you, Derek, like I say, the other guys can pick up the instruments and things, but with you being the vocalist then, how did you keep your vocals in check?
Just shouting at his missus. No. Hey, where's the fucking kebab?
There was a big block of like time where I weren't screaming, apart from in the van at work. But when we started to allow to practice again, I was obviously practicing with Burial and Wolf Bastard, quite frequently, which kept me going. But it's nothing compared to Foetal Juice, because fuck off, you prick. It takes a fucking effort to do it, you know. So it was all right, you know. I mean, I enjoyed the studio time, but I'd do it a lot differently next time. You know, I'd be well more prepared and what have you. But
yeah, you'll be sat at home when we get the new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first album with this lineup, pretty much, just apart from me and Rob, weren't it? So it was like a learning thing for us all, really.
Yeah.
Adapting to the new way, and it's great.
That's it.
Oh, it was definitely a learning experience.
Lewis from fucking primary school, and went, there you go.
No,
you're out of the band.
No, I was just wondering, Derek, if you actually just pissed off your neighbours when you were practicing, you know, when you were like singing in the shower or singing in the car and stuff like that, you know. But
I mean, the neighbours are pissed off with me when they think the fucking Adams family lives next door, but it's all right.
Well,
no, I don't really practice vocals, really.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all I do at practice, really. You know, at band practice, you know, I don't practice it any.
Yeah.
Apart from screaming in the car, that's about it.
So with you being the vocalist of the band then, do you take care of all the lyrics, or do you welcome contributions from other members of the band for the lyrics?
Well, on this album, like our first album, Rye gave us like a book of like bits and bobs of lyrics, and I took elements of it and wrote the lyrics and like the storyline behind each one, really. Like we got a song about Rye kicking the fuck out of the chav in Co-op, so so like, I had to like write a song around it.
No, a lot of the songs about like
actually is
situations that have actually happened, or you know, just stuff you've experienced, kind of thing over time and shit like that.
Yeah,
but then we put like a dramatic edge to it, where you kind of put a bit more chaos in there, put some demons in there, just anything really, just like.
Yeah. So do you think you're ever going to write a concept album?
I mean, like on the last album, every song was about a certain like thing what happened or a person we know.
It was kind of a concept album, the last one, because every single song was about the gluttonous nature of humankind, essentially, where people are all like the fucking toilet roll pinchers and the fucking knobheads that are filling jerry cans up with petrol like in the last few weeks and all that shit. Like all them people that are just, it's not gluttony as in fat bastard, it's gluttony as in you're a selfish prick. Stop just fucking taking everything that like you're leaving fuck all for people that are vulnerable and for people that need it. And we just looked at everyone as in like, stop being a selfish bastard. And each one of them had a kind of, is about different kinds of people. Like I think Manifestation of Falsity is about, you know, the Facebook knobheads that are just fucking attention seeking false bastards. But then we turn it into like, just make it more death metal. No Facebook shit.
Fucking hell. All right, Geldof.
No, but we like I was actually influenced by when I used to work in retail, and even when they were like just a bit of snow, and I mean not snow, like a bit of fucking hail. People would come in and they'd have like 5 giant bottles of milk in there. They've always done it. It's just different items every fucking time.
Yeah.
Like Halloween pumpkins, you see someone with about fucking 9 of them in the fucking trolley. And you know, when it's a little thing, but if you work there and you see it every day, you get really fucked off with it. It's just like you're just thinking, you sad bastard. Then kids come in yelling, "Where's that fucking pumpkins go?" It's retail. That were a fucking nightmare.
So pretty much all you need to do to write lyrics for your next album then is work for 10 days and you get all the ammunition you need.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have to pull your finger out, right?
Yeah. Not in retail, I'm not. Fucking hell.
Wait till you start hearing about my job.
Yeah, that's out of limits, I think, that one.
Yeah, it is.
Dare I ask about your job?
Children.
Dare I ask about your job?
SEN teaching assistant.
He's a child catcher.
They don't make it very difficult.
Yeah. But I love the black humor. Obviously, the music is very serious and stuff like that, but I love the black humor, and I've obviously loved the interview so far. And we're going to be at Badgerfest. There's going to be Moshville Radio, Moshville Times are going to be there as well. Definitely look us up again. This isn't the last time we're going to interview you. So definitely. But also with the recording I've gotten then, I'm going to pick on you, Lewis, then. So with the recording I've gotten, will there be anything that you'll do differently with the next release? Like maybe, what did you learn most from the recording, would you say? Like, are you going to change like who's going to record it for you? Who's going to produce it for you? Are you going to change the recording process? What do you think?
Well, we're still sort of on the fence about who's going to record it. I think we're just debating within the band. I mean, we were really, really happy with how the last one was produced, though. It was an absolute gorgeous piece of work from Chris.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the main thing playing wise for me is just more right hand. Just attack every single note, play as many notes as you can possibly play, trem everything, and just slay the crap out of it all. Because because you're playing a bass doesn't mean you could play less notes.
Yeah,
that's a myth. Play more.
Have enough time to learn the songs as a bassist.
I'll be doing more fills.
Because you had like literally a month, and then it was like, right, we've already booked the recording. The last bassist left. We needed a new bassist.
Yeah.
Here, learn this. We're recording now. Like,
I'll be doing more fills and stuff. Obviously, that goes without saying.
To put your own flavour on it.
Yeah,
now.
I think as a band, it's settled down now. Like then it was quite fresh in a sense, like especially for Lewis. But even like we said before, Derek, it was Derek's first album with us as well.
Yeah.
So next time it'll be nice and easy. We all know what we want from it, so it's gonna be a beast.
So do you hear Derek's and Lewis's influences coming into the new stuff already? Like, has there been?
Oh, yeah.
Do now,
yeah, definitely.
Especially now, it's especially live. Because you do add more things live, or you do play faster, and there's certain things you're doing. You're definitely seeing the character there now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many vocalists that I've seen look at a crowd of 12,000 people and say, "Fucking kill each other."
I thought straight away we're banned.
Normally people say, "Oh, look after each other in the pit. Be nice to each other."
People next to you, be nice. Kill each other. Go.
What I'm worried about though is overall Foetal Juice sound though. I mean, is it Derek or is it Lewis that's bringing the glam metal influences coming in?
I think Rye's bringing the glam metal influences. Lewis is bringing the makeup.
I'm bringing the kebab.
Yeah, Derek's bringing the thighs.
Boy,
yeah.
But we kind of talked a wee bit about how the songs are constructed then, but what about when it comes to negotiating what stays in and what goes out of a song? Do you just have a vote on it, or is it pretty much what Ryan says goes, that's it?
No, we'll have a full-blown fight over it.
Like, yeah, I think the way it's kind of worked is like, because me and Ryan have grown up together and we know how honest we are with our opinions of music. So we'll show each other stuff and we'll push each other like that, and we're not afraid of pissing each other off. And I think that adds to the band as well. So that if there's something that's yeah, that was all right. He can see that I'm thinking, right, that was all right. That's not good enough. All right, won't do. So you have to scrap that or make that better or tighten it up or add little bits to make something really good. And if you're passionate about it yourself, as long as you can convince the other people, then you're fine. To like that's fine, right? If this is good because you're saying this, and that means it's good. And then 2 weeks later, we'll just like what we did with Derek. He brought some really good ideas into the studio, and then we recorded it and forgot about his ideas and purposely did the songs differently. Bring whatever you fucking want.
But before all that, I was like,
yeah, we just recorded
it. But fair, I think I did have my foot down on this album. I'm like, you need to cut that song in half. Well, you need to keep a song 3.5 minutes. That'll fucking do.
Just it depends where the song.
But then you fucking ignore me.
Yeah, it depends where. If there's like basically like the song Gluttony that's on the album, which is like 4.5 minutes. Des wanted to cut that in half, pretty much, and we were like, yeah, of course, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Then like drums go down first. Yeah, and I just thought, fuck you, I love this extra bit, and just recorded the whole fucking thing.
But then there was one song where he did one part 4 times, and then the next time he played it, he did it 3 times, and I'm like, I wanted to sing the 4th line of the song. I'm like, where is the song?
Hey, everyone likes one.
No, it's fuck. I want to fucking pray.
I think it's the black metal bit in Venomous Domination where there's an extra like 2 or 4 bars on the recordings that you'd sent me, and I'd got this really cool bass harmony that I'd worked on for ages, and they missed it because they hadn't heard, they didn't know that I was doing an extra bass bit when they recorded it. So
before you joined as well, we recorded them songs, wrote and recorded them. They were like they were the first takes that we've ever done of them songs that we sent to you, and then we polished them up a bit and took them to the studio, and we just sent you the originals. And then it was just like, shit, these are all completely different. That's why I copied the guitar.
Tell me about the tuning thing.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. We fucked the tuning up. Because it was...
you also wrote the same riff twice, but...
Chris Fielding, who does our recordings from Conan, and he does it for Winter Philip and all that.
Are we allowed to do this?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Chris is sound. He don't give a fuck. But we used his pedal as a tuner for when we recorded all the guitars. And then like we normally like we were going to tune to C# for the whole of the album. Ray recorded all his guitars using Chris's pedal. Lewis came in to record the bass using his pedal, and he was just like, it just sounded out of tune straight away, and we kept tuning it, and it's like, yeah, this isn't C#, it's not working.
But Lewis,
Chris realized that he fucking set his tuner pedal a semitone down, so we recorded the whole album in C instead of C#. So like we just had to change our tuning to C, and it sounds better. But
it does sound pretty mean, but it was a bit of a change, wasn't it?
He only realised he did
it. The initial plan.
It was one of those awful perfect pitch moments. If you've got perfect pitch, then you get some moments in your life where you're just an absolute.
You're in the wrong fucking band if you've got perfect pitch, mate.
Good stuff. But we've talked about how the songs are constructed then, but over the last 18 months, because you couldn't go out and tour and things like that, then had it made you look at the more business side of the band, like keeping the name of Foetal Juice out there, like concentrating merch, marketing, all the rest of it? So you might have been doing roles that you've never done before, but you just had to do it.
Yeah, basically everyone just throws that on me, and I don't know what.
God, who made the press kit?
Yeah, getting gigs and stuff like that. I mean, like we were lucky enough to have some of the gigs that we had already planned for the release of the tour were like really good festivals in Europe, and they've kind of all carried on. Oh, like they rebooked it for the year after, and then rebooked it for the year after. So that was putting our name on them, which was really good. That added to keeping us kind of alive with that sense. And then we released a load of different t-shirt designs. got vinyls released later on, which kind of kept it hyped up, which haven't arrived yet, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like it's difficult to kind of promote things these days because I think I'm kind of out of the loop with it. You just kind of put a Facebook post on and put a post somewhere else and put a few flyers somewhere, and like you promote things by gigging.
Yeah.
And when the gigs aren't there, it's so difficult to, like, unless you've got a manager or anyone else that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
How do you promote? Like, a website's even a thing anymore? Should we get one of them? Should we do this? We'll do a few interviews here and there, but you don't know what gains traction, if you know what I mean.
Reckon we should make a Tinder account.
There's like a new app out every week, isn't there?
Yeah.
It changes.
Mate, that's
Foetal
completely
Juice Tinder.
No, Grinder, mate.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, what was it you were saying? What was it you said there? I didn't hear.
We should make a Foetal Juice Tinder account to promote.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. Everyone's pretty much happily married.
What, you mean you don't want some nice ladies from Burnley?
No, because they won't be the nice ladies from Burnley in the pictures. And she's pregnant, so like there's definitely no chance
level
on
that game.
Believe the ladies of Burnley for you, Lewis, for fuck's sake.
They're stuck on first level on Tinder. It's a hard game, that.
Here we go. So thanks very much for that, guys. But I've seen that you, with Gluttony, you were signed to the growing Glowhouse Productions then. So how did that come about? How's the relationship been so far? And what do you hope Glowhouse will do to Foetal Juice?
Well, like they've been really good to us so far. Like they're a really good label that we got in touch with them because there's been a few friends bands that have been on them for the joining them for the last few years, which is like Scordatura. They had the second album out with them. Scumpulse, which you're really good mates with. They like and it really pushes the bands and does things with them. Pushes them to kind of the level past what we were at that point, if you know what I mean. Because like we were with Grind Scene, which is Pete from Stranglewire.
Yeah.
And they had like Cerebral Bore on them and things like that, and we got what we could from that kind of side of stuff, and we just needed to get on the next kind of label platform to see how it can be pushed, and because they're American as well, it gives it a different audience as well, and I think that's helped a lot of it, and they have different ideas of what success kind of means as well, because we've never been a profit band or anything like that, so they're looking money wise and this wise and pushing everything in different ways than we would push, and it's just good to have someone behind you that will give you a kick up the arse because we're just lazy drunks basically. And it's got a good reputation, and like bands like Party Cannon have joined and things like that, and it's just got a really good reputation, and they treat the bands well. Everything's respectful with it, and you have really good discussions with Carlos, who's the guy, main chap from it.
Yeah, he's easy to access. You know, he's not hard to get hold of, or you can get a message back the same day. Like it's not like you've got to wait like in a queue. You know, it's good.
If you've got an issue, if you've got a problem, you can just speak to him like another human being, and it's fine. You're not no brown nosings anywhere, and you don't have to kind of suck up to do anything. He's on it with answers. Like if you're like with the shit that we were saying about like the vinyl thing, like he sees it as a problem as well. It's not like us going fucking hell, we want vinyls if he did it earlier, blah blah blah. But he's jumped in and chipped to half of it and done like a load of extra things that he didn't necessarily have to do to help us promote our stuff and give us like an extra leg up with things. So he's just a really good chap to work with. Really.
Again, it was just the timing, I think, with the release. It was the quarantine stuff. That was it. That was the only problem we had, like with the release.
Yeah, that's
all the platforms and stuff. So it meant.
Yep. Thanks very much for that, guys. Listen, We're going to talk about gigs now, but before we talk about live gigs, there was a period last year where you were allowed to get together again then. Did ever the idea of doing like a gig in the rehearsal studio or doing things online, did that ever come into your thoughts at all?
Well, we thought about doing something like that, and we were thinking about doing one at Temple of Boom, and I was going to get in touch with them, but it just we ended up just getting to a practice room and just thinking, well, we'll just fucking practice, and then I think we did a socially distanced gig in the woods in Felfoot, which was really good. It's like normally a black metal festival. Yeah, that's at Felfoot Wood in the Lake District. And we kind of jumped on and did a socially distanced one there, and that was really good. But it was just, we were thinking of doing a live show thing, but I just couldn't.
It's not the same thing, is it? I watched a couple and I thought, I don't know, it's just not my. I've been a bit weird with music videos. It's like with Foetal Juice was the first time I ever did a music video.
You did that Necronomical one, where you were the bouncer.
Yeah, but I fucking got duped into that, didn't I? You fucking walk. Right? But like, I mean, even though I'm a fucking big fat prick, like, I'm a bit weird with music videos and media and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather people just come watch us being twats at a gig than watch me get my fucking tits out on stage in a video camera. You know what I mean?
I think as well, we're a band that feeds off an audience. We're not like if we're playing it on our own with cameras there, I don't think any of us would jump into the camera and just be like, like playing that as if that was the crowd kind of thing. It would just be kind of still going.
Just looking at it. Awkwardly just looking at it.
It'd be a bit unanimated. We're not a kind of a showy band. We're more about let's just make a fucking audience fight rather than we're not living room watching essentially.
Yeah.
Rotten. Yeah. So that kind of line underneath that.
So, yeah, I weren't keen on the idea. I saw a few of my mates' bands and they nailed it, but like it was just like it made me fucking feel bad. Like fuck me, I wish we were gigging. I wish I was at the gig. Why the fuck am I watching my mates playing on a telly? You know what I mean?
I think the best one that I saw was, obviously Behemoth, but the best lower budget one that I saw was Ingested.
Yeah, that was good.
That was outstanding. That was DVD quality. In fact, I think they're releasing it as a DVD or a live album or something like that.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, but you say lower budget for that. That was probably about $7,000.
Yeah.
All like it was like loads of good cameras. We'd be doing it and like, all right, we've got fucking 17p and a fucking and a Caroling whirling, and it just fucking that shit. And there's no point, like you'd just be spending ages fucking turd polishing basically, and we've not got the budget to do anything like that.
So we're obviously going to talk about Badgerfest in a minute then, but there's a few months to the end of the year then. You've talked about a couple of shows, so you've talked about tours, so whereabouts are you playing then? Who are you playing?
Well, we've got the Scordatura one in Glasgow, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we've got, I might have to get a list up actually. We've got a tour with BTK, Basement Torture Killings.
Yeah.
Because the reason why we organised this tour is because we had 2 European festivals. We had Nice to Meet You in Czech Republic and Fuck the Commerce in Germany. And they obviously got delayed and cancelled. And they were with Basement Torture Killings. And we were organising a little tour from that.
Yeah.
And then we just got chatting and we were like, well, I still want to fucking do something. Like Brexit's happened. No one's allowed anywhere. So let's just do a UK one.
Yeah.
So we've got on the 8th, which is next Friday,
London.
Then Bristol, Cardiff, Banbury, Nottingham, Birmingham, Leeds, Badgerfest,
Northampton
as well. Yeah,
then York.
So it's like 10 dates, something like that. I'll hold the schedule up on the There you go.
10 fucking days of this.
Oh, nice one. That looks fantastic.
You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm getting the magnifying glass out, but yeah.
Has he got his fucking knob out? Ah!
But yes, one of the things that we need to talk to you about is Badgerfest that's happening in Manchester next month. Well, not next month, it's this month now, in a couple of weeks' time. In fact, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For you guys are headlining on a Friday night. So how are you feeling about playing Badgerfest? I know it's a festival that's been running since 2017, and it's just getting bigger and better every year.
Yeah. Well, he's an old mate of ours that we've gigged with he's in too many bands to name. So he's just been in. He's been a mate of ours for years, and he offered us that show before we booked this tour, and we ended up booking the tour around it. Yeah, basically, because it was just like, well, we might as well make something of this. That was the first gig offer after the pandemic, essentially. And he was, well, it's still going on, so it's not after it. But we just thought, right, we'll use that as a platform to go around. Yeah. But Badgerfest is I think I've been to the last. Well, I've been to one or two of them. Can't remember which
Wolf
one.
Bastard played.
Did you play
the last one they did? Wolf Bastard played.
Yeah.
Fucking decent, man.
Yeah, and the Bread Shed in Manchester is a great venue as well. It's like a really good venue.
Yeah.
It's just good. It's good. Like when he said, "Oh, do you want to headline it as well?" It was like, like nice one. That just showing the kind of respect that he's got.
Yeah.
For the because you always undersell yourself as a band. You're always kind of thinking you're worse than you are, or thinking whatever. And as soon as someone kind of offers you something good, you're like, fucking hell, nice one. You appreciate what we're doing, and you take it as a kind of a pat on the back and a mark of respect as well from someone like Badger, who's been doing this shit for years and knows what he's on about by obviously hiring us.
He seems to be a legend up in the Manchester area. It'll be quite funny during the festival. If you're looking for John, just look for him at the drum kit, because he's in that many blinking bands. That's where you'll find him, But are there any bands actually on the bill that you are looking forward to seeing yourselves?
Well, we're only there for the Friday, which is a pity. Because it's part of the tour. Like the day after, I think we're in Northampton, and then the day after that we're in York. So we're literally there. There's only 5 bands on the Friday. So BTK are playing on that. There's like Pissed that we're gonna play, but they've pulled out. They're on the Saturday.
I really like Ramage Inc.
Ramage Inc.
I think we played with them in Leeds years ago. They were fucking really good.
Yeah.
Do you know something? Do you know something? I'm now interviewing the headliners for Badgerfest. I've interviewed every other band, and Ramage Inc. is the band that is the most popular for other bands wanting to see. I was actually in their recording studio like 2 weeks ago. I done an interview with them, and I said that to them, and they're just absolutely flabbergasted. They cannot wait for Badgerfest and meet the other bands, But again, Ramage Inc. Seem to be the one that people want to see. So
yeah, they're a really good band, really good band.
Yeah.
When you're in a band, you watch them and you go, "Fucking hell! I wish we were that tight."
Never.
They're that band. They're that band where you're just like, wow.
Lewis, wait till you're 34. You'll never be tight.
Well, talking about the gigs then that you've played, who made the most mistakes then, since it's been 18 months without a gig? Who made the most mistakes?
Well, probably me, but nobody knows about it.
It's always going to be me, because I've got to fucking count them in and remember the song when you're doing the counting. Which never happened. Which, to be fair,
fucking blood stuff. But he got the fucking set. I was like, yeah, this next song's about Ryan kicking the fuck out of Chav. He went, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it is. He went, no, it's not. It's this. All right, it's this. And then we went, right, should we do that song now? He went, it weren't on the list. I'm like, fucking is. Blind bastard.
The thing with this is, like, because kind of, if you have that kind of fake confidence where you pretend that you've done fuck all wrong, No one thinks you've done fuck all wrong and they follow you. And it's like, that's how it's kind of worked.
Why?
Like, well,
Yeah,
literally.
in front of thousands of people going, yeah, we're going to do a song. No, we're not. Why?
Poor men having an argument.
But to be fair, like, we don't, like, when anyone's kind of making mistakes live and stuff like that, we all kind of, like, especially me and Rye, because we've been doing it together for fucking years. We have that kind of, that look to each other, where it's like, we tell you, like, at every gig, we'll turn around, he'll turn around to me, stare at me, and be like, right, it's 2-0 that, mate. And then he'll make a mistake, and it's like, yeah, fucking 2-1.
I guess
But,
like,
we're just like expecting them to make mistakes, so it doesn't fucking matter with them, really.
Don't never get a mistake with me, mate.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a mistake, Daddy.
It's part of the fun, but I'd imagine like when you get into the rehearsal studio next to you, that's when you take it out in each other. But
yeah, no, like I think we've always been the kind of band where we can take the piss out of each other. If you're fucking up, you know that you're more pissed off about it than the other person hearing your fuck up, if you know what I mean. So it's open that.
oh Jesus,
Right.
I'm going to look at my questions while you're doing that. Jesus,
Mate, Jesus Christ, he's going to ruin his milk tea. But yeah, like we beat ourselves up for any mistakes that you make. To be fair, you're the only one that's making yourself look like a knob, if you know what I mean. If you're fucking up, you look like a prick, and everyone knows it. So you might as well just fucking own it or fucking.
I used to have this in like my other band Burial. It's like we used to like take it so seriously and like just like, oh, you messed up that second riff in the fourth song. It's like, oh, fucking hell. And then you think,
Doesn't matter.
It don't fucking matter whatsoever. So just fucking play it. If you fuck it up,
the pun
you buy a pint.
I
you
do
know
a
what I mean?
thing where I try and make people make mistakes as well, because I'm a bit of a knob. So like, it was to be fair, at the last gig we played in Plymouth, like you know when you're doing a big ending to a song and you're going blood and dan, and you do like 3 of them or whatever and do the Motorhead fucking thing. If you only do 2 of them and then pretend to hit the cymbals, the guitar and bassist still go meh, and it sounds fucking awful. And then that's it. And make sure you don't hit the cymbals, and then they look like pricks because they've done an extra one.
Then you panic and break into a Welsh shit solo for no reason. Just trying to fucking get some sound going. You don't know what to do.
Good stuff. It's all part of the fun. The punters love it. But a question you were starting to answer earlier on, Rob, but before the internet, magazines and fanzines were the places to find out about new bands and trends, but now publications have been replaced with thousands of websites catering for all genres. So do you guys think that some of the passion's been lost, or do you think that the internet has been a good thing for music and a good thing for Foetal Juice? Who wants to start?
It's a difficult one because it's like the way we got into it, like maybe not Lewis as much as us 3, but we kind of, we'd all sit in a room with mates and chip to 1 CD a fucking month and listen to that to death. And like you'd get like a Vader CD, or someone will get an Origin CD or a Nile CD or a Death CD or whatever it is, and you'll cane that for ages until you love it.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the next one, and then you'll cane that for ages until you love it. We're in a generation where you can click play and go, nah, I don't like that first, second, next band. Right, first, second, next band. And you lose that. I always feel like you lose that kind of passion, like for it with that, because it's more difficult to get into.
Yeah.
Because it's like you know when anyone's watching Netflix or something like that, and you're going, right, here's a remote, choose what you fucking want to play, and you're like, there's too much choice. If you had 7 DVDs, you'd be like, right, that one, that one's fucking mint. I'll watch that again because it's a great fucking film. Like there's too much choice with stuff these days. And then whilst you're listening or watching anything, you're playing on your phone, you're messaging everyone else. You're not engulfed in it as much. This is why I've got back into vinyls, because that makes you listen to the whole
entire album.
Like, and it just, I feel sorry for the kind of younger generation where it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Yeah. How did you
Like-
find this?
So that whole like group listening thing that you described is that you have a big queue up on YouTube or Spotify and you flick through and whoever's telly it is just goes, yeah, that's shit, next one. That's shit, next one.
Yeah.
And
You're describing
and then there's
Derek
the other thing that people are only watching videos if it's a YouTube queue, but I don't like videos, so that doesn't apply to me. I don't give a shit. But like with Spotify, you just you the choice is nice because you make these massive playlists of songs that you like, but there's so many rabbit holes that you miss going down. And the way you find things now is going down a massive rabbit hole. You find a band that you like, then you find some more. But it only happens every few months. You can't force it.
What me and Rai used to do is go to fucking X Records in Bolton with 30 quid between us and buy as many like promotional CDs as possible that we liked the artwork for. And then you get them home and go, fucking hell, that's a good band. Man, oh, this one's dog shit or whatever. And then it was the joy of finding other bands and going, look, this is a good one, seeing his reaction and going, nah, that's fucking shit, actually, isn't it?
That's right. I used to do that.
You're like a competition, basically. You buy 10 CDs each.
Like, where you just
going there 20 quid. Like, cause you used to get like 30 quid, like allowance, you know, from the government, EMR or whatever it fucking was. Spend a tenner on booze and then spend 20 quid on fucking CDs.
Yeah.
The fuck are you looking at, you cunt? I'm gonna fucking shag it.
The same in the Moshville Times interview, he used the C word. He dropped it again.
Sorry. I got bollocks for this on the other interview as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Still made it up.
I was only kidding on. What about yourself, Ryan? What do you think?
What was the question again, mate? Sorry. Sorry, I was just fucking staring into
For me, that you prick.
Do you think some of the passion's been lost, or do you think the internet's been a good thing?
To be fair, you listen
I
to
think the internet's been a good thing during a pandemic, yeah, because without that, then you really fucked with music.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, without the videos, without especially releasing an album, it's impossible without media at the moment.
Yeah.
Or from now on, it's like it's not like it used to be where it wasn't there. It's like now you've had it and it's easier. You're stuck with it, basically.
Yeah, the other side of the flip side to that coin is it's available in everyone's house all the time.
Everywhere, anytime.
If you know what I mean. So like there's so many people that wouldn't have fucking heard of us if it weren't for the internet and Spotify shit and all that stuff. Like
that's where I found you guys.
Yeah.
I found you lot on a YouTube rabbit hole. Sat up at 4 a.m, like, what?
It's the worst band in the Northwest.
But I can literally remember the whole fucking. I can remember the night that I discovered black metal, and it was down a YouTube rabbit hole up till 4 a.m, just on my phone. Like, well, this is a bit good, isn't it?
What band was it?
It's definitely like a double-edged sword.
All of them.
Back in the day, you would read crap. It's no Kerrang, it's crap and all that kind of stuff. And you would see.
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you?
you would see bands like releasing demos, and you would send like £1 or £2 away, and then a couple of days later you would get a tape, you would get a letter from the band, you would get a couple of stickers, whatever, and you would listen to it, and you're like, don't know if I like it, but because you've invested in it, you would listen to it again and again, and then make up your mind. But like you guys have said, you go into Spotify now, 10 seconds, that shit, move on to the next one. There's a million other bands. But
if you don't get the first stabs, you fucked it.
Aye, but I grew up in the age where CDs should be burned, you know, but you kind of get CDs now, like you say, vinyl's back, tapes are back, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then again, you probably realised with your Spotify that you've got fans in, I don't know, Tunisia and Japan and all the rest of it, you know. So it's spread it further, but it's just more difficult to get into.
I think it's created a bigger emphasis on live music, though, because you don't get the same thing that you used to just by listening to stuff on Spotify. But when you do see a band live and they do catch you, it makes it all the more important because you're not going to get the chance of getting that same thing just listening to it without seeing it is far less than it was back then. So now when you're seeing live bands, it makes it so much important getting that full experience. and it makes it so much important getting it out there to fans as well, potential fans, is that they're seeing you finally. Like, it makes it so more important.
If the only band you ever listen to is Vomitory, then you don't have this problem. Like, all I've listened to for about fucking like 16 years. Just not even like say.
Yeah, don't listen to them though, because you'll realise what we've ripped off so much.
They're a good band. They're a good band, but a lot of valid points here, and I don't know how many discussions I've had over a pint about it all. But listen, the 10-minute warning has come up again. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's like that.
So I could probably do another 40-minute session, because we're now going to talk about the instruments that you use. What are you going to bring on tour with you? So we'll start off with yourself then, Rob. What's your kit up? What's your setup in your kit?
At the minute, I'm using like Tama Star Classic, the old Lombardo setup kind of thing. Like the red Star Classic Tama, the classic Lombardo. I've got Pro Mark Lombardo sticks as well. I'm not obsessed with Slayer, by the way. A little bit.
Yeah.
But like Sabian cymbals, them Polish pedals that you can't pronounce, like they're the only things that actually endorsed with, and I can't fucking say the name.
It's like
Yeah.
Demon Spaffer or something like that.
Yeah. And then that's literally it for drum wise. Evans heads.
See the snare that you use for Gluttony then? Have you changed it since then? Have you tweaked it a wee bit since then to get do you think it's a better sound that you now have?
To be honest, I've had that snare for 12, 13 years, something like that. And I've just twatted the fuck out. It's all splitting and it's all going everywhere. I think that's a Mapex's Black Panther. So it gets a nice ping to it, but it's I need a new one soon, because it's just bursting at the seams at the minute. I just, as long as it has a nice as long as it has a nice ping to it, it's all good. Like I don't want like the Scordatura used the 12-inch snare, which is slightly smaller, and it has the kind of, you know, the old regurgitate kind of and like I want a heavy snare. I want like a thump.
Yeah,
basically.
No, cool.
But yeah.
You want that early 90s entombed arse slap noise.
Yeah, basically entombed.
Hey. Thank you.
Oh, that's service for you. That is service.
Yeah. This is Karen Colton, by the way.
How you doing?
I'll leave you to it.
So Derek, with you being the vocalist then, have you shopped around for microphones for like one that you're particularly happy with, you're happy with the sound, or do you just get given a microphone and just scream into it, you don't care what you play?
Get the microphone and shout shit.
Lewis, no, I just wondered.
I'm more into, because I'm like musician in my other band, so like when I'm in Foetal Juice, fuck off you prick. When I'm in Foetal Juice, I'm like, when I'm looking at Lewis playing, I'm like, oh, make sure we use this dark glass pedal. And when I'm with Ryan, I'm like, oh yeah, we should try this, we should try that.
You're more of a bassist than anything else. And then
at heart, I'm a bassist.
Yeah, you're a bassist. But he wants to be Glenn Benton, and he's always wanted to be Glenn Benton. And now we've taken the bass off him, and he's got tits. So he comes out with a fucking microphone.
I just try and move around too quick so you can't see my fucking saggy tits.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What about you, Lewis? Then, what's your setup?
So, bass wise, I'm a bit of a Fender Jazz guy usually, bass wise, but for Foetal Juice, I'm on a Yamaha broad bass. I was literally bought it it was about a couple of weeks before we went down to record the Gluttony album, and I was trying out loads and loads of shit, and nothing was sitting, because I wanted something with a thinner neck than a jazz bass, just for the speed. But then I hate the tiny little Ibanez basses because I'm a guitarist. I'm not actually a bassist first instrument. My first instrument's guitar. So I pick up one of the ones with the tiny necks and I play it like it's a guitar.
Yeah.
But this thing was just like the perfect Goldilocks in between medium. It just plays beautifully. The pickups you can meld to get a really just horrible crack to it that I like as well.
Is it
and I've worked
four or
out
5 string?
Sorry?
4 or 5 string?
Just a 4-string this. I'm
Five
not
strings,
a 5-string guy with bass. I'm not a 5-string guy. Just 4 for this. And Riot, we're just in C standard, so I don't need that extra note down. That would just be ridiculous. So just the simplicity works for me. It's great. And it plays beautifully. I'm really happy with it.
Cool. We use the Ampeg S3T and the recording.
You've spoken about it before now, Derek.
Oh, fuck off, you prick.
Oh, Ryan, you've got 3 minutes.
I need, mate. To be honest, like as far as like equipment goes and stuff, I've always used the same shit. PRS, and it's a lovely guitar. Like it's a great guitar to play. The action on it's great. Nice, small, so it's good for fast playing.
What pedals do you use?
Use Marshall Ed. First one were a JCM 2000. Now I'm using a JVM. Is it? I think so. Something like that. So I'm using the upgrade of that, and to be honest, that's all I've ever used, mate. I don't use any pedals, just plug in and go.
6
So I do it.
6? 6 string, yeah.
What's that, mate?
6 string guitar, yeah, not 7.
It's a 2-string guitar. Yeah.
2 strings.
Yeah, it's only
2
6
strings and 2 teeth.
Fucking
hell, we're stick the fucking jamming.
Well, listen, guys, I can't say it's been a pleasure talking to you. No, I can. This has been absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed this interview. Like I say, it'll go on Moshville Times. I'll go on my YouTube channel. It'll go on Ricky of Moshville Times, Moshville Radio. We play you a lot on Moshville Radio. You've got fans at Moshville Radio as well, so we'll always play Gluttony. So yeah, we'll see you at Badgerfest in a couple of weeks' time. We'll catch up with you then. We'll get you talking shite once more. But this time, I've done all my interviews. I've told the guys I am not working. I'll be having a beer. The stall where we're going to be is actually at the bar. So I didn't have any part in those negotiations, but I'm quite happy with the setting. So yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast, I think, and I cannot wait for it. But until tomorrow night, I shall see you tomorrow, and I'll see you. All right.
Mate, thank you so much for your support and everything.
Yeah, nice one, mate. The interview.
Might have been fucking raw. This fucking nice one.
It'll be good to see you tomorrow night, and then I can just punch you in the face for making this interview possible. So, no, listen, thanks very much, guys.
I've been told to ask you how your daughter's doing on Strictly Come Dancing, by the way, because of the resemblance.
Do you think I'm Gordon Ramsay or something here?
It's fucking raw.
Fuck it. I got the eye of the fire.
You have no idea. Like, people in America have commented on it because I share it all. Like, I'm on the radio and baby. In America says, I didn't know Gordon Ramsay was a DJ. I was like, fuck off.
Mate, I got told to do that by
Mark. Aye, Mark.
Yeah, man.
Aye. Well, listen, guys, we're about to be cut off, so I just thought I would say thanks very much for this, and I'll see you tomorrow night, guys. All right.
Yeah, nice one for it.
I'll see you at the bar. See you after. Bye.
In the back.
See you later, mate.
Bye.